got it, girl.
Finally.
It took us a whole hour.
Oh, jeez. Yes.
I'm excited to start this journey, y'all, with LaTonia, and Sharon giving us this lovely platform. For those of you who do not know, I am Kandice, aka Kandi. If you want me to be, I'm Kandi too.
And I am LaTonia, and I go by Lala. So we're both from Mississippi. We
Mm-hmm.
don't live too far from each other. And so this is our first interactive series, and we're very excited. And we hope you all continue to join us and follow us on our journey. So tonight is how we
We met.
met.
I know the very first time I met LaTonia, y'all, I was working at my very first salon home, and she was bringing her daughter to get her hair done, but we didn't even really just speak then. But I just I saw her a lot in passing, so that was one of the first times I saw her. My vitiligo actually had just started; it was just on my fingers then, and I was like, okay, maybe I should speak to her, but I was like, nah. So so we didn't speak that day.
Right. And I noticed her too, and then I was like, some people probably don't want to bring whatever they have going on to light. So I said, well, I'll let it go. I'm sure I'm going to see her again somewhere.
Yeah.
And I
And
did. I mean, like, I think she was kind of I think it was on Instagram. She had
mm-hmm.
posted something on Instagram. She had, came out and she was just telling her story. And it's almost 3 years.
Yeah, because my vitiligo actually didn't spread until it started when I was 18, just on my fingers, and from 18 to 30, it started when I was 30, until it actually spread. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I guess it's when you saw me when I kind of was showing the world my vitiligo, and the time was I was like, oh my gosh, she got vitiligo too.
Yes. So you know what? I slid in Candace DM,
She,
on Instagram.
she slid in the DMs.
I slid in the DM and I was like, hey, how are you? And I was like, do you remember me from Dings? And she was like, yeah, I remember you. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you had vitiligo because, I mean, a spot could be anything. It could be a sunspot. It could just be something. So I didn't want to assume that's
Yeah.
what she had until she said that's what she had. And so from that point, I was like, oh my gosh, me too. And I was like, oh, mine started when I was 18, just like her, but mine started very, very progressively.
Yeah.
And so I've had my vitiligo, oh gosh. Ooh, then I'm gonna tell y'all how old I am if I tell
It's
you how
okay,
long
girl.
I've had
Say your
it.
age, girl.
But hey, I'm not ashamed of my age. But anyway, I've had vitiligo over 20 years. So it has spread it very progressively. It started when I was 18, and it started out as a small spot. And then from that point, it progressively. So I wasn't as open to showing the world who I was
Yeah.
because of how people had a persona of how you supposed to look to them.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody maybe, you need to look a certain way or a certain part. So if you didn't fit that category, you didn't belong in the circle. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And being a teenager at that time, uh, it was just kind of really hard and kind of difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're working our way through it or
Yeah.
whatnot. And so, after sliding in Candy's DM, we heard we chit chatted. I wasn't living in Mississippi then. We exchanged phone numbers. And I said, well, hey, I'll be back in Mississippi in a couple of weeks. We should link up. And she's like, okay, that's cool. Well, here's my number. And we
Mm-hmm.
exchanged numbers and we started following each other on Facebook. And
Yeah.
and I'm you. you probably can't tell, but like I'm kind of shy sometimes.
Girl, I'm shy, but girl, please. I see, but somebody had wrote down there, does your vitiligo hurt when it started? My vitiligo didn't hurt. I actually itched in some spot, in some spots, I mean, but it doesn't hurt at all.
We didn't really like hook up right away because, like, well, of course, when you come home, when you live out of state, your family wants to take up all of your time, and you only on here for so many days. Maybe for a family event or function. I don't remember because, like I said, it's been like almost 3 years ago to the day. It'll be like May 6th will make us 3 years since
Yeah.
we reached out,
Mhm.
to each other. And
Mhm.
so, with that being said, we kind of kept in contact here and there. And
I was
from that
glad that
point,
I was glad that you did reach out because, like I said, my vitiligo actually had just started spreading, and I was so excited to see that someone here in Mississippi had it too. I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" Because I thought I was so alone with it. I hated it. I honestly hated it at first, and I think when you reached out to me, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not alone," and so that kind of gave me an extra boost around here, knowing that somebody here, looks like me too. And I know I did tell Ellie, I was like, oh my gosh, she's here and she looks like me. And
and
he was like,
then, yeah, and come to find out, like, we have a lot of mutual friends,
girl,
and I was just like, oh my gosh. And then, so, kind of like fast forward and things like that, we'll reach out to each other and we'll be like, well, have you heard of this? Or are you going to this? Or are you going to do that? And our friendship had just started to grow.
yeah,
And I remember, I don't know, I called Candice one day and I'm like, hey, girl,
we
I
got to
said,
meet up.
I texted her, I said, what you doing this weekend? We gotta meet up. We got to do something because
Yeah,
like after her and I, we had did a project, and from
yeah,
that project, our stories were shared, via Facebook across the world. And and we had such a positive response and experience, and it reached so many people,
yeah.
and we was like, we have to do something, Candace. I'm like, oh my gosh.
We
And
have
it's just
here. Yeah,
so many of us in Mississippi that has vitiligo but don't have an outlet
mm-hmm.
to, express themselves, or, even to reach out to just say, hey, you know what, I'm having a bad day. So
Mm-hmm.
we can tell them it's okay to have a bad day. With Sharon and Liddy Ligo, like Candy said, allowing us to have this platform to do this,
Yeah,
it manifests because we would meet, we would write down,
what we wanted to do.
ideas and what we wanted to do. And I'm just like, oh my gosh.
And so it's actually coming to life. Everything happens in God's timing, and it was just really crazy how Sharon did reach out, to us to do this, and I was just like, really? We see you guys. We see you guys. We see you work.
Yes, we would meet up several times.
We
And
did.
and I told Candace, I was like, she just didn't know, like at the time, you know, she really inspired me because I was still wearing makeup because
I
I
inspired
wasn't,
you.
yeah, because I wasn't really ready to show the world just yet who I am. Because again, it's just like a persona. You have to keep on putting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess it was just my security blanket at the time. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then when you work in the public's eye, people always staring and pointing and like, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this today. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then, and it took time to really realize that, hey, you know what? I need to step back and I
Mm,
need to start loving me from within. I can't really help nobody if I'm not really helping me,
yeah.
and and taking care of myself. And then it's like self-care is the best care, and self-love. So
Yeah.
once you start doing those types of things, And then Candace come out with her campaign, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that this is what, we need to do. And I just got a little bit more confident, a little by little, I start, coming out of my shell.
Yeah.
So, but with her knowing that I had her with me, or in my corner, and knowing that I could pick up the phone and call her, even
Mm,
though I know she was a phone call away, vice versa, that she would listen to me and she would tell me that it's okay not to be okay. And I have to keep telling me it's okay not to be okay. And she would, do the same thing.
mm-hmm.
So,
You helped me in so many ways too. Like I say, you probably don't know. Like I said, I was really excited to see. I think you contacted me the first year that my vitiligo started, and I covered mine up too. And I had to grow quickly to where I had to learn to love myself very quickly. Um, because I just didn't want the vitiligo to control me in my life. So with the support from my husband and my family, and going through what I'm going through, I just chose to embrace myself. Like the second year I had it, I think. Yeah. I just chose to embrace it, child. But it's good to have somebody who's actually on the same page as you, who wanted to do the same things that I wanted to do here to spread the awareness. So I was like, yes, yes, be like a sister, yes, my girl. So I was
uh-huh,
glad. I'm glad you slid in the DMs, girl.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
I'm glad.
It's It was a funny story because, like, when we was like, "Oh my gosh, let's think back how we met," and I
How
said,
we
"You
met.
know what? I know it. I know how we met." And she was like, "Sure did." And again, it's just like it is great to grow a bond with someone, to let someone know that you are not alone. And then
Yeah.
another thing is, it's just so funny that when people see us out now, the first thing they be like,
Do
a
you?
girl named Candice? I'm like, yeah, that's my girl, of course.
Yep. Everybody got up like, do you know girl? Yes. Step like she worked with me. I'm like, that's my girl.
Yes, uh-huh. And they be like, she do hair, doc. Yep, that's Candice. Like before they can even finish talking, I'm like, yep, I already
Yeah.
know who you're talking about. Cause that's,
It's
that's the only, what I'm saying, person that I'm close to or whatnot. But again, we want to continue to be advocates for
yeah.
vitiligo. We want to spread the word to let you know that you're not alone.
Yeah.
We're here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it goes down in the DMs now.
Somebody said that I ain't even look,
Yeah,
girl.
see, it just
I
happened to
can't I
pop
can't
up.
look at the comments and talk because I be so busy trying to read instead of talking.
Uh-huh.
But it do go
But
down in the DMs, y'all.
it did, and I mean, it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, let me just take it slow, and and it's just like it goes a little bit more deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I had something, I invite her. And I always just would just check on her. We would just like see how each other were
Agreed.
doing.
Yeah.
So. And like I told Candace, I was like, girl, when you post something and mom comments on there, I was like, she just don't know. Like I'm her daughter too. And I'm like, go ahead, mom. Uh-huh, sure live. And I'm just like,
Yes, we
yes,
are sisters, girl. We are sisters.
yes.
I love.
So yes. Move over, other sisters. I'm y'all sister too. I'm right here in the middle.
Oh Jesus.
Yes, but we share a lot of things together. We do a lot of, things together. And
Hmm.
with Corona coming, around there, like it's kind of hindered us, but that hasn't
Oh,
stopped
correct.
us from FaceTiming each other or texting on each other. And you know
Hmm.
what, y'all, Candace made me cry the other day. She made me have a little puppy dog tears, and she was just like, "You out here working, and I'm at home." And she's like, I'm gonna buy you lunch today. And I'm like, oh my gosh, and it just popped up in my cash app. Like, oh my gosh, thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome, girl. I was thinking of you, child. I was thinking of you.
Yes, has.
Everybody's
So
in. But yes. I love it. And I'm just glad that we're starting this and we're able to talk about other things other than just vitiligo, but of course we'll still be talking about vitiligo, but showing that we're humans too. We're just people whose skin just happen to look different.
And we always talking about, well, we may not be everybody's cup of tea, but we our
Yeah,
cup of tea, and we gonna keep sipping it. We gonna keep spreading the awareness.
sip,
You know
sip.
what? Yes, baby. Let me go on and sip too. It started right when I was graduating high school. I was 18, and it was a small spot, and it was on my left hand, and I always used to wear a watch to cover it up. And I went to the doctor because I wanted to know what it was, which I kind of figured what it was because I kind of Googled, but it wasn't a lot of information out there back
Bad.
then. I
Uh-huh.
graduated in 1988. So,
What?
girl, I know, right? Since I
I'm
told
just
you how
playing.
old I am. And so, and I would look because back then, we had encyclopedias. We wasn't really on Google and,
Yeah.
like down back there was where was space? What is it? MySpace
My
and stuff like that. It
space.
wasn't really talked about. So, but I kept saying, white spots, and people would like link it, like Michael Jackson would have,
Yeah.
white spots, and it was called vitiligo, and I would look. And so that day I went to the doctor's office, and and he was like, "Yep, this is what it is. Milky patches, your skin." And then
Yeah.
I had gotten another one, and I would always wear clothes that I can hide, and it started to move progressively, and I would just wear long sleeves, and people like, "You ain't hot." Mm-mm. I was just like, in another sense, like, mind your business. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because like I really didn't want you to ask me all the questions, but
Yeah.
again, because I really didn't know how to really deal with it or really handle it at such a young age. I'm just like, why is this happening to me? I'm supposed to be
That
going
must
to college and living my best life. But anywho, I used the topical creams and tried, the things that they wanted me to try, and nothing was seem to work. Some work for some people and some work because everybody's body and chemistry is totally different. So
you were
what
looking
may
for
work
something
for
to
you?
stop it?
Huh?
You were looking for something to stop it?
Well, at the time, I was only going by what the dermatologist told me because I was 18, and they was just like, "Well, yeah, let's try this." And it would, repick the skin color. I would get my skin color back. And so,
Okay.
I was trying this, and then, they'll schedule you for like maybe 3 months out or 6 months out just to
Hmm.
see what the progress was.
Yeah.
It was no progress. And I'm just like, well, you know what? I kind of gave up after, trying the different treatments like the light box, the Protopic. And I was like, I'm going to quit wasting my parents' insurance because that was a
Okay.
specialist. And I was like, it's just whatever. And then I
Make
didn't see any more spots for a while. Then fast forward, life moves on.
Yeah.
I was getting married. I was having a child, all of that, a lot of life stresses, I joined the military, it was just a lot of things that kind of took off in my life. And, and it was spreading, but I really wasn't paying attention to, it started coming on my face and things where I was like, oh God, what I'm gonna do now? I don't know
Yeah.
nothing about makeup. I don't really wear makeup. I don't do this. I don't, it was just a lot of different things. And so I did what I knew what was best for me.
Yeah.
And so,
Comfortable with.
yes, and so I just moved on, but it took me a while to really embrace it because, like I said, um, it wasn't talked about as much. Some people noticed what it was, some people knew what it was, and I'm like, yeah. So, but I wasn't really ready to talk about it until I was comfortable enough to talk
Yeah.
about it. I'm at that point now. And then, like I said, in Willie Hollow, they be like, yeah, y'all see that girl on America Next Top Model?
Yeah. I used to.
Everybody would refer me to her. And I'm like, yeah, they're screenshot a picture or send me a picture or tag me, technology had really improved by then,
Yeah.
gradually moving along and things like that. But, I had got to a point where, I said, I'm not going to continue to hide anymore. I need to start living my life. I had kids. My son was like, Mom, don't worry about it. Don't worry what people say. And another reason I kept covering up because
Right.
I didn't want nobody to bully my kids. I ain't want them to be, look at your mama. What's wrong with your mama? And I
Mm,
didn't want that to hurt my child,
yeah.
so I did it, till to protect him, but again, moving forward, I am at a place where I am
Yes, girl. You
comfortable.
are beautiful, child. You are
Thank
beautiful,
you, you
love.
too, and I'm winning in the skin I'm
I
in.
know when I first saw you, I just like, LaTonia is so pretty. She is gorgeous.
Yes, thank you.
I was just a beautiful chocolate sister, y'all, until I turned 18 years old. My vitiligo started on my fingers. My vitiligo didn't spread until I was 30 years old, from 18 to 30. So I thought it wasn't gonna spread at all. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just gonna stay on my fingers. And that year I was getting married. I went through a very traumatic experience. Um, and slowly I had a little spot under my eyes. And then just started just it took out very quickly in that year. And I just went to because I used to like wearing makeup anyway, so I wore the makeup just to cover it up because I didn't want to have to answer to people at all. I just didn't want to have to answer to people, about like what's going on with your face. Because nobody saw it on my hands because it was so small. Before my wedding, I had the courage just to not wear makeup to work. I was working at JC Penney that day. I went in there and this lady, she walks up to the counter and she was just like, Lord and behold, what happened to your face? No, she said, Lord have mercy on your soul. I was like, who's she talking to? And then she was like, I sure hope it's a cure for that. So this was the first day I did not wear makeup. And I couldn't do nothing but cry. It took everything in me not to go behind that counter, snatch the lady up real quick, but
Not snatch her up.
snatch her up real quick. Like, you don't say that to nobody. But from day 4, I still decided not to wear the makeup. And just, and I just chose to embrace who I was because I couldn't change it. I couldn't change who I was. I mean, I can't control my vitiligo, so I just had to learn to embrace and learn to love me all over again. And that journey was very hard. I was actually depressed the first year of my vitiligo. I was depressed. I was sad. And during that time, you did reach out to me this one. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. Because the stares we get every time we go out, it's overwhelming sometimes. Like all eyes are on you. I'm in a much better place now. I love me and all my spots, y'all. Y'all can't
Uh-huh.
tell me nothing. But I'm to a point to where I want to educate people about what vitiligo is. So I am grateful now to have, a lot of support from, other people in the community. And yeah, my journey was very short because my vitiligo just started. So yeah, yes, it can be a lot. And so now we're here trying to move forward and do great things. And yeah, I'm just excited.
Me too. And I mean, I'm grown. I still have days where I met down, and I reach out, hey girl, what you doing? And she be like, how you day? And I be like, And she be like, what's wrong? And I just tell her, and I was just telling her one day how I went to an establishment at a restaurant and I was waiting on my food, and it took everything in me. My mom was like, he ain't right now. He ain't right. Because he kept like, what's wrong with your face? And I was like, nothing.
This is hard. Now I be like, oh Lord.
Yeah. How was your experience with vitiligo in the military and which branch? Which branch, excuse me. I'm in the US Air Force Reserve. I've been, active duty, well, activated several times. My experience in the military, I mean, I've really had a great experience in the military. I wasn't treated any differently simply because Our uniforms were long sleeves, and I very rarely rolled up my sleeves anyway because it depended on what kind of field conditions we was in or what job we was in. We may be out in the sun or whatever. So, I very rarely rolled up my sleeves. And so that was a great thing. So, we had PT. I wore the pants. I wore the jacket. I did everything I could to keep me sane. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I wouldn't get the questions or I wouldn't get the stares. And so, but that's how I really dealt with it. So I'm looking to retire next year. This
What?
December will be, girl, yes, 20
Okay.
years.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yes, yes, yes.
How long have you been in the military?
December the 20th will be 20 years. I joined December the 20th, 2000.
Gonna
Okay,
retire
yeah.
young, girl.
Yes, okay. Mine introduced herself while you was in Navy active duty. And I can understand that's very stressful because it's like hurry up and wait. Like they ready for you to do this, but okay, wait, we go do this. So yes. And I think it added a lot of stress too because sometimes of the positions and the things that you get thrown on, they did ask a lot for you. And then to, keep up a household, to keep up with your kids and everything. So,
Well, my vitiligo actually started the year I was getting married, and I honestly thought my husband was not going to marry me due to my vitiligo. I'm just being real honest because, he didn't meet me like this. I was scared. I hated it, but he told me he was like, Candice, I loved you way before your vitiligo, and it just really doesn't matter. So.
and I had again, like I said, I was 18. So it didn't really stop me because I was very active in college and joined in the military. And then, and sometimes people are not really looking on the outside, they were looking on the inside. So,
Yes, you're
that really didn't stop me, from that. But then when it progressed, I was still thinking like, okay, oh my gosh, like, is he still gonna love me? I'm changing colors, he ain't married this kind of, like, color, like, it was
right.
just, it was really stressful. You know what I'm saying? Like Candace, like thinking like, this ain't the person I married,
Yeah,
but again, it's not what's on the outside because you could be the most beautiful person on the outside and still be
he's so
ugly in the
ugly.
inside.
Say that again.
So, but
Again.
it's not hard. I have, someone that loves me dearly,
Yeah,
wouldn't change it for the world, So, but that was
yeah,
a great question.
it was. But people should love you for who you are as a person and not judge you for just your outside appearance. But if they are, next,
They ain't the one for you. Keep it
next,
moving.
keep
So,
it moving, please. So, yeah, just love yourselves. And if they can't love you for who you are, they not in love. They are not in.
they ain't the one for you. They just probably looking for a BC. So, and I ain't the one.
You say looking for what?
A BC, a booty call.
Oh.
Mm-mm. I'd rather
Yeah,
surround myself with people that's gonna love me for who I was, and that's what I have to keep telling myself. If you
yeah,
can't accept me for who I am and what I look like, you ain't my friend to begin with.
yeah.
You
I
know what
know,
I'm
right?
saying? Like, mm-mm, or
Yes.
whatnot. So, but
Keep
you
people on your
know.
team who are for you.
Yes,
That's what
and
I'm
we
learning.
always say, and like today, we both can stand here and walk with our head held high. You never know who's watching you and who you can inspire.
Inspire,
You
yes.
just don't have to have vitiligo to inspire someone. Just
That's
because we're
right.
going through that, we can inspire someone else who's challenging something else in life. What did your kids say, and how did you explain it to them? Um, My kids really didn't say anything. I mine really spread it when I had my first child or whatnot. And, it was nothing when he got older. I was just saying, mom had a skin condition, and I told him what it was, and he was just like, oh, okay. He was okay with it. And,
Yeah.
and I asked him how he feel about that, and he was like, it was just fine. And, how boys are just young, at that age, and he be like, well, I'll just beat them up if they say something to you. I'm like, no, it ain't nothing
Yeah.
like that. But my daughter, when she was young, kids are just so cute and so innocent. And she'd be like, well, will I get skin like that? And I'm like, I don't know, baby. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I want skin like that.
Oh,
She just, because how your kids look up to you. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And it's not about what you say. Sometimes it's what you're doing. They're watching what you're doing and how you carry yourself. So,
Yeah.
but,
My
you
nieces
know,
told me that. They're like, Titi Candice, is my skin gonna look like yours? I was like, I don't know. They was like, it's so cool. I was like, okay.
yeah. So it's just kind of hard to say, what I'm saying, growing up, and like now um it doesn't bother them or anything just coming out, because like our stories were shared all over Facebook, and kids were like, oh my gosh, I saw your mom, she's beautiful, oh, I saw this. Or they'll be like, well, my papa has this, or I got an auntie that has this. So, and it was really good to hear them say that, because some
Yeah.
kids already knew what it was.
That's the good thing about it. More awareness is being spreading around, so that is great.
And then they'll be like, hey, such and such mom, hey, and they'll just be so more drawn to you. You know what I'm saying? I guess the best thing is just be who you are.
Yes.
Be
Yes.
who you are. And I know it's easier said than done,
Oh yeah.
because some people are just, not ready to kind of come out of their shell.
And that's
But,
okay. Do it in
yep,
your
on
time.
time.
Someone said it took a while before we gained the confidence. Once you love yourself, that's it. There's no stopping our confidence. And that is so true. Once I gained that love for me and that confidence, whatever, she got to say, he got to say, it just doesn't matter, because I love me just that much to not care to what you have to say. Because it's your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion,
And
though.
girl, and it don't pay no bills. So I had to
Mm,
realize that real quick. The bills still gotta
okay.
pay whatever you
I just
speak.
I was like, okay, next, move on to next.
Yes,
Move
and
on.
another thing, and I done found myself, like, oh my gosh, I would so wear that. You know what I'm
You would,
saying? I would wear that, but back then, when I first
mm,
had it, I
when you,
wouldn't dare wear that. I would buy clothes that will cover up
yeah. So
my
now you're
vitiligo.
comfortable.
Like, I wore shorts, oh my gosh, for the first time in like years. Like, I think like this past year or so. I would wear shorts, but it'll be in my house. If you was
Yeah,
coming on, you had to give me a notice, because baby, I was gonna go in and put a full face of makeup on. I was gonna be
really
dressed. Yes. I mean, it's just like people that I wasn't really
comfortable showing it
around.
to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unless you was my family. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But like now, I'm like, I had to realize, like, you know, you're coming into my home, you know what I'm saying? So if you can't accept me, then oh well. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm in a better place now. So, like, because I suffered through depression too, but
Yeah.
then again, like we said, that's a whole nother topic. We'll
Oh no,
talk
that's
about that another time. But,
your topic too.
learn to love you, embrace your inner beauty, as well as your outer beauty, because it starts within.
It
So,
does. It does. It really does.
it starts within, but we're approaching almost an hour. We ain't gonna keep y'all on here too long rambling. We hope you can continue to join us on our mini series. So more to come, and we're actually looking forward to one day that we will be able to physically meet some of you all in person. We want to hold a group,
Yeah.
setting.
Yeah.
So, we're manifesting it. You know what I'm saying? We're speaking into an existence. So you got to start somewhere. Like they say, you got to crawl before you can walk.
Right. That's
But
right.
again, thank you all very, very
Keep
much
on. It's
for
been our
joining
pleasure
in and
doing this,
listening
girl.
to us.